evaporative air cooler, also known as the swamp cooler. So we're just going to unbox it today and see what all we get in this. It came with the upper frame. It did come with this water tank, came with the wheels, a remote, and then it does have 4 of these reusable ice packs. And then now we just have to put everything together. So we're just going to put the wheels onto it first. I'm just putting this on here, putting it literally on there. The wheels do have a lock on there. So we're putting it together. That was great. And so the remote itself has the on-off. You have cool, speed, mode, timer, swing, light, and screen off. It does take, it looks like two AAA batteries. All right, so you do have a touch screen right here. This is just allows the vent to swing. This is the cooling part. You turn this on if you want it to be cooler. You have a timer from 1 to 12 hours. This is the light. This is the speed of the fan. There is a normal mode and a natural mode. Now then you have the on-off. You do have the plug right here. So one thing I noticed is that it is easy to move around. It has wheels, it has handles on the side. So you can definitely move this in your bedroom at night and then have it in the living room during the day. All right, so let's just talk about one of the biggest questions people have. How does this actually work? So this isn't a traditional air conditioner that uses a compressor and a refrigerant. No, instead, it uses water evaporation to cool the air. So you open this top part up and you fill the tank with water. It does have included ice packs in it. That just helps with extra cooling. And then what you want is you want to fill it up from between minimum and maximum. It does have the water pump in there. And then what it will do is it will circulate water through the cooling pad. The fan will pull the warm air through the wet pad. And as the water evaporates, it lowers the air temperature while adding a little moisture in the air. Another question people usually have is how long does the water last? This model has a large 7-gallon water capacity with dual water tank. So depending on your fan speed, cooling setting, room temperature, humidity levels, you can use this for an extended period of time without actually having to refill it. The additional ice pack can help provide additional cooling for 24 hours. So I like the fact that the water tank is actually removable. So you can completely fill the water tank from the top just for convenience, or you can just take this one to the sink and fill it. This also helps with cleaning this a lot easier, getting the dirt buildup removed and keeping this running smoothly. All right, so we're gonna turn it on with the remote. So like I said, you can control everything on the touch panel or with the remote. It offers 3 different speeds for the fan, so F2 and then F3. That's how loud it gets. So you got low, medium, high. You also have 2 modes. You have normal, which is what it's on, and then natural, so I'll turn that on. And basically with natural, it just filters through the different speeds. So it's almost like an automatic. So you can use this unit 3 different ways. You can use it just as a fan, so you can just circulate the airflow. You can use this as a humidifier when your air feels dry. Or you can use this as an evaporative cooler with water and ice packs when you need that additional cooling. So it is rated at 2200 CFM with the airflow reaching up to 34 feet per second. And it does have the swinging or the oscillation. So that's 120-degree oscillation, which helps distribute the air across a large area rather than just blowing in one direction. So another thing you'll notice is it does have a light bar. So it does give off a soft glow. This is going to be perfect at night when you need an additional night light, especially if you're using it in your bedroom. Then you can always turn that off along with the screen off so that it won't bother you when you're sleeping at night. So speaking of bedrooms, it is designed to be a quiet operation with 30 decibels, and it includes a 12-hour timer. So the timer, I just hit timer on the remote, and it goes from 1 through 12 hours. So you can definitely set it before bed, and then it would just automatically shut off after. So people also ask if swamp coolers work in humid climates. So evaporative coolers generally work best in dry or moderately dry climate because they rely on the evaporation for the cooling effect. So in very humid climates, you can still get airflow and the fan benefits, but the cooling benefits won't be as noticeable. It would be in drier regions. Right, so I did want to show back here. So you won't have to clean this, but once every 2 to 4 weeks. Obviously, more often if you're continuously running it, or just depending on how often you are running this, you'll have to unscrew this up here to get this out. You're gonna want to take this wet curtain. You're gonna want to soak it in warm water and a natural detergent. And then you want to take a soft brush and you don't want to scrub lightly. You want to take the dust off of it. And then once you're done scrubbing, you're going to want to rinse it, then set it out in the sun to dry. Obviously, you're going to want this unplugged and you want the water tank emptied out completely. And you're just going to want to scrub off basically any debris or accumulated minerals to keep this running. Once everything is dry, you're going to reinstall the wet curtain and then the bracket. Make sure it's installed correctly to ensure that this is going to operate normally. This whole product is not waterproof, so you do not want to submerge this in water. You want to keep the control panel dry, and you don't want to use any corrosive substance because the improper cleaning can obviously lead to corrosion and discoloration. So really it's the dust on the wet curtain that can impair the airflow and air purification. So that's really why you're going to need to clean this. And then of course, if you're not using it, you want to make sure that you empty this out and store it dry. You want to empty the tank. So run the fan for at least 30 minutes without turning on the pump. And you're just making sure that the wet curtain is dry before you store it. I really like that the unit combines a fan, humidifier, and evaporative cooler in one portable design. The removable water tank, top fill option, the remote control, you have the oscillation, timer, and its mobility feature makes it very user-friendly, especially for larger room and open spaces. So if you're in the market for a swamp cooler, you definitely should check this one out.